everybody, Skin Deep Beauty Vlogger here. I hope you're all really well. Today I've got an empties video for you, and this is going to be my last categorised one, and then I'm going to go back into mixing things up and doing a mix of whatever 10 products that I finish up. So I always do 10 products, and this time it's going to be 10 skincare items that I've finished up. I know that a lot of you like my skincare videos, so that's why I thought, although you've mentioned you prefer the mixed videos for empties, I thought I'll just do this last skincare one. With my empties, for example, body care empties, I'll kind of deal with a shower gel that I don't particularly enjoy, but I'll just use it up to avoid wastage. But with skincare, I really tend to stick with what I like, and if something's not working for me, then I'll just pass it on to someone else. So you can pretty much guarantee that the products I'm going to talk about in this video are ones that I've gotten on well with. And I'm going to do them in no particular order, but I'll just start with cleansers because to me that's logical in terms of skincare. And the first one that I finished up was the Emma Hardy Amazing Face Natural Lift and Sculpt Moringa Cleansing Balm. And I've talked about this before, I've mentioned it in a favourites video, and the first thing that I want to mention is how terrible the packaging is. Firstly, mine has broken, it leaks, it cracked pretty quickly within using it, and I don't like the tub dispenser. I don't think it's very hygienic, and I think that the fact that this is a sort of almost like a gel-like balm, akin to say something like a lip balm, as opposed to those very solid ones which are almost like lard. I think that a tube would have lent itself a lot better to this than this tub. They have subsequently repackaged this, but it's still in a tub. It's a shorter one, and as far as I'm aware, it still has the same issues in terms of leakage and the packaging breaking, which is a real shame because otherwise it's a fantastic product. And to be honest, I like it so much that the packaging wouldn't put me off repurchasing it because I think it is that good. This is a really, really fantastic cleansing balm in that it's effective, it lends itself well to facial massage. I think it would suit pretty much anybody except for those of you that have very sensitive skin, because it's got a high concentration of beautiful essential oils. Now that makes it really indulgent and pampering to use. It really is a spa-like experience when you're using this. However, it also means that if you've got very sensitive skin, then that may aggravate it. I really like this because it's a multi-purpose product as well, so as well as using it for its original intended use as a cleansing balm, you can also use this as a lip balm, apply it to sort of chapped areas or very dry areas such as elbows, and my favourite way to use it is to apply it as a mask. Leave it on the skin for 10 minutes. I really like doing this while sitting in the bath, so you're sort of getting a little bit of the hot steam whilst you're sitting with the mask, and when you remove it, your skin is just left glowing and really beautiful with the knowledge that you've had a really good thorough cleanse. So I would highly recommend this. This I bought from Space NK, and it was £34 for 100ml, but a little goes a long way and it lasted me a really long time. I mentioned it a while ago as my favourites, and I've only sort of fairly recently used it up, although these have taken me a while to accumulate, so some of them I finished earlier than others. Now I really do think that either balm cleansing or cleansing oils are the most thorough way to remove your skin. Like works with like, and that oil base really helps to sort of lift off impurities such as makeup. It sort of dissolves makeup very thoroughly and effectively, and it also gently removes the excess oils from the surface of your skin without stripping the skin of its natural oils. And it also prevents skin from going into overproduction, so it's actually a really good choice to cleanse with something like an oil if you have oily skin. I've used up 2 cleansing oils on that note, and I'm going to talk about this one first because I'm just going to touch on it. I've mentioned this countless times before because this is my favourite oil cleanser, possibly my favourite cleanser of all time. I really, really love the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. It's a very gentle oil that I think would be great for anybody, particularly those with sensitive skin. I think it's really helped have a balancing effect on my oily combination skin. Well, probably more combination than oily, but definitely acne prone skin. It's really helped to calm and soothe my skin, but definitely acne prone skin, and this has worked wonders for me. I really, really do love it. It works very effectively at removing makeup. It gives a gentle cleanse. The only people that I wouldn't recommend this for are those of you with eczema, because it has an olive oil base, and that's very apparent in the colour, which is normally golden. Obviously I've used it up so you can't see, and also the scent. It's unscented, but it has that sort of olive oil scent to it because of that being the base. People with eczema tend to not get on well with olive oil products, which is why I wouldn't recommend it for you if you have eczema. But other than that, I think this is fantastic. Really, really like it. I like the packaging as well. Even though it's affordable, I don't think it looks cheap. I think it's just sort of minimalist, basic. You can see how much is remaining, and it's also functional because just one pump dispenses the perfect amount for sort of massaging over the face. And of course, cleansing oils or oil-based products do lend themselves very well to facial massage, so that's another benefit of using them as well. Now, the other one that I used up is Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse, which is actually quite similar to the DHC, albeit a lighter formulation, and this feels a little bit more indulgent to use if you like scented products. I mean, really you shouldn't be using fragrance on your skin, but I do. I think it's very difficult to avoid, in fact. This has a sort of citrusy scent, which lends itself very well to morning use. I like this, and I have repurchased it. I've repurchased both of these cleansing oils. This one I've got 2 backups of because I can't bear to be without it, whereas this one I've just got 1 backup because I liked it. But if you're sort of umming and ahhing between the two, then I would go for this one because it's considerably more affordable, much better value for money, and to be honest, it's my favourite out of the two anyway. So I've mentioned that I think oil or cleansing balms are the best way to cleanse your skin effectively, and I've previously done a video saying that I really dislike cleansing wipes, so you might be surprised to see that I've used 2 packets of cleansing wipes up, and I've done a whole video about why I dislike them, as I said, so I'll link that below. Basically, I just don't feel that they cleanse the skin effectively enough. The only time that I would use these is if I'm too tired or worse for wear to do a full cleanse, and then I think they're better than nothing. They're also good if you're travelling, say like on a plane, to remove your makeup, but generally I just think use a decent cleanser because your skin will thank you for it. I know some people use these as like a pre-cleanse before going in with their full-on sort of balm or oil cleanser, but to be honest, you could just do this twice, or, you know, I don't even necessarily think that I need to do it twice. I feel that these balm or oil-based cleansers are so effective that there really is no need to waste my money on wipes. But I like to have them on hand for those emergencies, and I have to say that I was very impressed with the simple ones. They're not my favourites that I've tried, but they are the UK's best-selling wipes, and so that was why I wanted to check them out. And I like that they're very moist, so you do feel like it's actually lifting some of the makeup off your face and not just moving it around and dragging on the skin. I also was impressed that these are alcohol-free, and they are affordable, so yeah, they're a pretty good buy if you are going to go for wipes. The other ones that I used up I really liked, and it's unusual for me to say that about wipes. I've done a blog post on this and quite a few of the other products that I've mentioned below, so if I've done a blog post then I will just make sure that that's linked with the product name below. These are the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse wipes, so it's basically a wipe version of the cleanse oil. These are really clever, and I liked these because I felt like they added something a little extra that normal wipes don't give you, and that's because these have got a sort of oil base on them, so they feel very oily when you apply them, and then the idea is that you moisten the wipe itself with water, so that kind of takes away the convenience element that you would get with normal wipes, because you do need to be near a water source, but then you wash it off again and you make sure that you remove all of that oily residue. And I just felt that because you're almost doing an oil cleanse, they are a little bit more effective than standard wipes. The downside being that I still didn't think they were as effective as doing a full cleanse, so I would probably use these as the first step to a full cleanse, but then as I've previously mentioned, I think that's a bit of a waste of money. You could just use the same like cleansing balm or oil twice if you wanted to do a double cleanse. But the theory behind these really appealed to me and I liked them. I thought they worked very well, and I have actually repurchased them, which is unusual for me. The only downside with these is that I do think they're expensive and don't offer great value for money if you are going to use them as a pre-cleansing product basically. But for emergencies, I liked these and they really impressed me in terms of the concept. As I've previously said countless times, I don't think that wipes offer a thorough enough cleanse to make them a sort of viable option for everyday use. And even in emergencies, well, it's not really an emergency, if you're too drunk or worse, or if you're too tired or worse for wear to remove your makeup, then you know, I still think you can do one better and use a cleansing water. And I used up my favourite cleansing water. This is the This Works Clean Skin 5-in-1 water. And again, I don't think that a cleansing water alone offers sufficient of a cleanse to be an everyday option, but it's a better option while still being convenient than wipes when you are sort of in a pinch. I really liked this one. I preferred it to Bioderma. However, I didn't like the packaging, which I'm going to say is bulky, and although it's got a pump dispenser, this sort of squirted out in a really awkward way, which made it a little bit difficult to control how much I was using. And I don't like products, although it looks sleek, I don't like products where you can't see how much is remaining. But I really liked this because it was gentle and it contains rose water, so I think it would be a good choice for those of you that maybe suffer from rosacea. And it's also a really good choice if you have dehydrated skin, which most people do, I know I certainly do, and that's because it contains glycerin and it does leave a residue on the skin. So some people may not like that residue. It's not uncomfortable, it doesn't feel sort of unclean, it just feels like it's adding something to the skin. And I really, really liked it. I did find it to be a very effective makeup remover for a water or a wipe, you know, not as effective as an oil, but I thought it was good. And this is a pricey option, but because I liked it so much I probably would repurchase it, although I haven't yet. Okay, I always think it's a bit of a cop-out when people include cosmetic pads or cotton rounds in their Empties videos, but I just wanted to mention these very, very quickly because I used up one of these. I always use these up, and most of the time I don't mention them in my Empties videos, but I wanted to give a shout out to the Waitrose Essential Cosmetic Pads. These are 100% pure cotton. The only sort of distinguishing factor that I take into account when I'm buying these cotton rounds is the price, and these are the most affordable that I've come across where I live, so I just wanted to mention that that's why I use the Waitrose Essential ones. Maybe where you live you can get cheaper ones, but those are the cheapest I've found. I think they're about £1, and quite often they're on 3 for 2, so really, really good deal. One of the products that I use with cotton rounds is eye makeup remover, and I used up the NARS Gentle Oil-Free Eye Makeup Remover. I really liked this. Firstly, can we just appreciate the sleek packaging? I really like that. I wouldn't necessarily think of NARS as a skincare option. I would automatically consider them to be a makeup brand. But I suppose it makes sense for a makeup brand to do a really good eye makeup remover, and this certainly lives up to that. I tend to wear a smoky eye, in fact I'm wearing one at the moment, and although I tend to use very thorough oil or balm cleansers, quite often I like to go in with a separate eye makeup remover, and I really liked this one because it was very effective, and it's a biphase one, you can't see obviously. I was really surprised that it's called an oil-free eye makeup remover, because the fact that it's biphase and the fact that this does leave a residue on the lids made me think that it contained oil. It certainly felt oily to use. So if you don't like those sorts of products, then you probably wouldn't like this. I liked it because I found it effective, but I did think that it was expensive. It's around £18, I believe, for 100ml, so I wouldn't rush out to repurchase it. I really like the Clarins one, so I would probably just veer towards getting the Clarins one if it was a toss-up between the two. But I did like it. Okay, next I'm going to talk about an acne product, and as I mentioned, I've got acne-prone skin. Now, a little goes a long way with this product, so it took me a really long time to use it up, and I have subsequently repurchased it, but having repurchased it, I've then discovered La Roche-Posay Everclar Duo, which I prefer as an acne treatment. But I still thought that this was very good, so I want to talk about it nonetheless. And this is the Salcura Antiac Acne Clearing Spray. And what it is, as it says, it's a spray, you sort of squirt it into your hands, it's almost like a milky liquid, and you just sort of apply it to the affected areas. My acne is always around like my chin and going up my cheeks. This just caught my eye when I was in the health food store one day, and it's a natural product which I liked because I thought, well, hopefully it'll be a little bit more gentle. The reason that I really liked this is I don't necessarily think that it sort of cured my acne, but I felt like it was doing some good, and possibly that was psychological because it's got a medicinal scent from the inclusion of tea tree oil. But what I liked about this was when I have an active breakout, I like to conceal it for obvious reasons. But so many spot treatments just dry the spot out, and you're left with a sort of, this is gross, but you are left with a sort of crusty top to it that just makes concealing really difficult. It just makes it really apparent that you're trying to conceal a spot. And I liked that this didn't do that. It didn't dry out the area, but it did sort of feel like it was treating it. It has an antibacterial effect to it. It's also anti-inflammatory and cleansing. And I thought it was pretty good. It contains purified water and then a mineral solution along with lots of essential oils that are renowned for being good for the skin, particularly acne-prone skin, such as tea tree oil, so that's giving you an antibacterial effect, sandalwood, sea buckthorn, manuka oil, and along with those it's also got things like glycerin, which as I said is good for dehydrated skin, and aloe vera as well. So I liked this because it was gentle and yet I felt like it was treating my acne, or at least not sort of causing any harm. I felt like it was doing good. So it's not the most results-driven product, but I certainly enjoyed it and liked it enough to repurchase it. And then last but not least is another product that I have really enjoyed using, and I've used up 2, but I'm counting it as 1. This is the La Roche-Posay, which I've mentioned. I love La Roche-Posay. It's a really good French pharmacy brand that I think is affordable, and yet the results are, you know, I would pay double basically. I think the results make it more than worth the money. This is the Rosaliac UV Legere. This is just basically my basic day cream. You can see how much I like this. I cut it open, make sure I get every last drop of it. And this is an anti-redness moisturiser, and you know, basically it's just a really good choice if you either suffer from, it's just a really good basic everyday moisturiser. I like that it's got that UV SPF 15 protection in it. It's a gel cream texture, so it feels very lightweight on the skin. Good choice if you suffer from oily skin or acne. I found it very soothing to apply, and it doesn't clog my pores, it doesn't sort of cause any breakouts, so I really like this. It's a good choice if you do suffer from rosacea. As the name suggests, it's anti-redness. The cream itself has a slightly green tint to it, which isn't apparent on the skin at all, but I think it's a really nice soothing product, really good for anybody, but particularly if you suffer from inflammation such as acne or rosacea. I would highly recommend this, and it's less than 20 quid. One of these 40ml tubes lasts me, what, a couple of months, I guess? I don't know. But I really make sure that I get every last drop, and it's my daily moisturiser. I've been using this probably for the last 2-3 years, and I love it. It's really, really helped my skin. At least it hasn't had a detrimental effect on my skin, which, you know, when you're suffering from acne, it's quite often difficult to find a good moisturiser that is going to protect because of the SPF and sort of add some replenishing moisture into your skin without clogging pores, but this does that job. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I fear that it may be a slightly long video, but once I get started talking about skincare, I can't stop. So thank you for sticking with me till the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!